Good morning, Christopher from Oregon. Glad to have you here today. I want to welcome you to the Wednesday edition. It's Wednesday, June the 22nd, 2022. My name is William Michael Forrest. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have with me the energy of a being that goes by the name of Elijah. Now, I don't know, and he's not being clear if this is the biblical Elijah, but he does say it's very important not to get caught up with the associations of himself with anything else, but please accept on the level at which I offer you this information, how it may serve you. This is what's most important for him, that you use the information in the manner that it serves you, not so much as who he is or where he's from, but he's offering this information to us today as a service to us all. And today's event is how to know what is right for you. And he instructed me to put in brackets the word polarity. He says most humans have a very difficult time assessing what is right for themselves, and oftentimes actually know what is right for themselves and choose to ignore it. So I find myself faced with the difficulty of trying to communicate to you who are suffering because of what you choose to ignore that you know, and those of you who are seeking to know so that you do not have to suffer. There is a distinction between those two categories of humans. There are those that know what is right and what is not right, but choose to ignore that. And those of you who desire to know what is right and will follow it when you hear this. So please understand, there is a simple way to discern what is right for you and what is not right for you. It is not designed to be difficult and unnecessarily complex, as many would have you believe that it is. That is not the case. He says there's an area in your body that the truth is always felt first. It says there's two places in your body where you feel the truth first. And it is usually in your solar plexus. That is the solar plexus. That's just below the heart center in your body. And the second place is right in the heart center of your body. So that's these two places, he says, register truth and falsity very easily. You can know the truth of your actions or the falsity of your actions from these two places in your body, because oftentimes your mind will ignore what is right because of what it has been taught to believe. Most of you are conditioned now to believe that what is right is wrong and what is wrong is right. And that is not acceptable in terms of if you wish to live a life of a noble nature where you are honoring the value of your life within your own body and in the lives of those you are closest to. Yeah, the challenge that many of you will face is, sorry, I've just got some technical stuff going on too simultaneously. The challenge that many of you face is resensitizing yourself to what you already know. Resensitizing yourself to what you already know. For many of you have believed that you should ignore what you know for pleasure's sake and not for intelligence. For pleasure's sake. And many of you ignore what you know because of pleasure's sake. If you wish to end your suffering, you must cease to yield yourself strictly to the benefits of physical pleasure to understand what is right and what is wrong and how it will work in your life. But for those of you that are seeking to know what is right and what is wrong, when you are faced with situations and circumstances that are new and different than what you are familiar with, it is in these two places in your body. And he's motioning to the heart center and to the solar plexus, which is just below the heart center, that you can actually feel the truth or the falsity of a thing. It's funny, in our courses we teach people this thing called learning yes and no's, learning how to define if something is true or false for you. And you can literally feel that right in here. If you ask a question, you can, and we actually walk people through this, where they actually ask a question and they can feel the center of their heart respond to the question as to whether or not it's true or false. But he's saying you do not need a specialized element for learning. You just have to pay attention to what you feel in these two regions of your body. The further you deviate from what is right for you, the deeper the discomfort. That is the lower part of the body, that place that you call the solar plexus. If it is reacting and responding to what you are going to say or do, and it is responding in a way that does not feel very good, then the deviation from what is right is further. If you feel it up in the heart energy, the deviation from what is right is not as far, but your deviation is further. The deeper down you feel this in your body, this is why you call it the solar plexus. The solar plexus. In there is where you can harm yourself the most by ignoring that element of truth. He says, many of you do not understand how to pay attention to this anymore. You must learn even what you eat or what you drink are the most obvious ways you can know what is right for you and what is not right for you. That is the most obvious place. And there are so many of you that do know. There are so many of you that do know what is right for you and what is not right for you, and you choose to ignore it. And how then can anything I would say or any other say that could convince you to offer yourself the truth and to accept it and to live by it? How can you know this? How can you accept that if you choose to ignore it already? All suffering is a deviation from the truth. All suffering is a deviation from the truth. If you understand how to surrender your suffering, you will become much closer to the truth, and you will not suffer. The less you suffer, the closer to the truth you are. I will say this again, for it is very important. All suffering is a deviation from the truth. Even in the events where you will aspire to do something new, and you have difficulty doing it, and you decide not to do it because it is difficult, is a deviation from the truth. There's not one thing that you cannot do or be if you understand that you can know what is right and what is not right for you, to go further or not go further, to give up or not give up. These are all aspects of the truth. Do not believe that you are less than what you are. Do not believe that your suffering is a natural consequence of your existence. The idea that suffering is what you are born into is a lie that has been perpetuated in order to maintain your suffering for the sake of control. Understand this, that your suffering is not ordained by divinity, but by man. Your suffering is not ordained by divinity. It is ordained by men. And if you choose to surrender your suffering, you shall find yourself with great relief. Food and drink are where you deviate the most. For if the temple suffers, it is hard to operate as love would command you to. If your body suffers, how can you listen to love's command if you are suffering? But if you listen to the voice of the suffering, which says, do not do this, do not eat this, do not think this, then your suffering shall end, and you will hear love's command. And love's command would say, do good unto your body, do good unto others, do good with your thinking. Love's command instills no fear, nor doubt, nor would it incline you to harm another. You must understand this. But in these two places, you will always know the truth if you pay attention. If you are living in your head and thinking you know, you may have problems. And how many of you enjoy the taste of things for the sake of the taste of things, knowing full well that that thing is not good for your body, and you defile the body, which was a gift to you. And this is not a judgment of your character, but an assessment of your ignorance, that you would choose to ignore what you know to be true, and that you would place your life in a detrimental condition because of your ignorance. Understand, you know what needs to be placed in that body. You know what it requires to be complete, to live as long as Noah and many others had lived. You must obey the law. You must learn to listen to the words and the wisdom of love. Love extends life far beyond what fear can ever hope to do, and it takes you away from suffering. Your lives can be many-fold longer if you listen to this simple truth, that how you treat the house will determine how the house will stand, and it will determine how the house will fall. So what you think and what you eat and what you say and what you do are the foundations of the temple. And if the foundations are poor and weak and wretched, then the house will fall. But you may live many-fold lives, much longer than you know, if you could but understand and listen to the voice of that which is righteousness. The voice of righteousness will always bring you closer to love, to light, to the goodness of your being. You will see in the coming months in this world the product of this ignorance. The seductions of fear and pleasure have greatly diminished the children of God. And it is important that you awaken from your slumber. Listen carefully. You do know what you should do, and you do know what you should not do. All of you know this, but you choose to either ignore it for the sake of what you may gain from others. But what greater gift could you hope to gain than love? What greater gift could you hope to gain than love and that which is righteous? You seek the comfort at the expense of your light. It will get harder and harder to hear if you continue to ignore what is right. It will get harder and harder to see if you choose to do what is harmful to yourself or to others. But in these two places, you will always know. And even in your mind, the thought will be given to you. This is not right to do. This is not right to think. This is not right to eat. It will be given to you, and you will be told, yes or no, do this, nay, do not do this. You will be offered that in any choice, in any moment. It is offered to you to know the truth that will set you free, and you may choose that or ignore that, and the consequences will be your obvious reward. For many of you, it is suffering. Yes. But this may end very soon. Your suffering may end very, very soon if you understand what is being said. There is a time that we're in right now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes. very insistent. We all know what is right. We all know what is wrong. He's saying there's no confusion in this. Everyone was given this to know that which is right and that was wrong. All know these things. Many choose to ignore this. This ignorance has a price and a consequence that will be reaped even in the experience of your poor health, that you would still choose to do that which you know is wrong, is an indication of how far you have stepped away from love. And why not turn back to love? Is love not more preferable than suffering? Wow. Good morning from South Africa, Oregon. Hi, Elena. Hi, Drusilla. Can we transmute the effects of anything? Is this a hologram or not? He's saying in true faith, all things will be restored. In true faith, all things will be restored. Hear these words, and all will be restored. Wow. Thank you, Drusilla. Question from Olena. One night, my 3-year-old sat up in the middle of the night, outstretched his arms, and waved and said, "Hi." Was he saying hi to his male guardian angel? No, he was actually saying hi to Master Jesus, was present with your son. That's a wonderful blessing. There's so much that we as sensorial beings are limited from, but this was Master Jesus. People do not understand the nature of awareness and consciousness and how it applies to non-physical reality and non-linear time, that an individual such as Master Jesus or Buddha or Lao Tzu or some of the other ascended beings, even some of the Pleiadians that are high-level evolution, that you can be in multiple points of time and space. You can literally occupy multiple points of time and space and be in many places at once with your awareness and be perceived by many people simultaneously. That's how Master Jesus seems to get around. He doesn't get around anywhere. He's just more aware of more time space than most humans are in that body. Those of you that are listening to this are simply listening to this space-time that you're in right now. But their awareness, Master Jesus' awareness, is really expanded. Congratulations to your son. Yes, the Savior was with him. Rejoice. That's really cool. Question from Adam. Can you please ask Archangel Metatron to fully define what is a planetary sphere and why are specific energetic currents attributed to it, and how it is regulated throughout the multiverse? That's a very involved perception. He says the simple thing is, if you want to grasp this directly, rather than me trying to articulate it to you in specific language, simply regulate your awareness to a point where you experience the non-linear connected energies between these forms. There is a very precise movement of energy exchange from each thing to another throughout all material time and space. These energies you may tune into directly to know this for yourself, that there is an inflow and an outflow. You might say an in-breath and an out-breath between all things. That the structure of one thing to another is determined solely by the way that mechanism is able to receive and transmit information at the non-physical dimensions, but also on the dimensions of time and space. So you may experience these things directly. You may experience these directly and know them. Thank you, Adam. Question from Benjamin. Thank you for the super chat, Benjamin. Really appreciate it. I'm not entirely happy in my current relationship, although it does bring some good things that I enjoy. It's okay, but not entirely fulfilling. What guidance do the masters have for me? Thank you. Well, there's two things they're saying that you need to liberate from your mind. Liberate. They're saying liberate your anger, and offer to give more of yourself. liberate your anger and offer to give more of yourself. There are two things that will happen in this regard. One is the other will not be able to receive your goodness, and therefore one that will be willing to receive it shall come. But release your anger and offer more of your goodness. Again, you are in the position where you we'll use the term, you are subjectively demanding that this person be a certain way for you in order for you to be fulfilled. But in fact, you need to be more fulfilled in how you are expressing in order to experience what you wish. It is very simple. Be as you would wish the other to be towards them, and the truth will come out. That which is rightfully yours will be rightfully yours, and that which is not will not. Cool. Great question. Thank you, Benjamin. Got time for two more questions. Question from Vertical. I sometimes choose to create or buy symbols I place in my home years ahead that later manifest in reality. What is this gift? I don't know. This is like one of your guardian angels is saying, this is your gift of manifestation. You do not have to wait for years to manifest it, though. She keeps doing this. She keeps waiting when she could do it herself quite quickly. So these symbols, you may substitute them for things that you want to experience, but you don't have to wait. They're saying it's fun to watch how long it takes you to get this understanding, but you can manifest very quickly. You just put them around the house, but you do not give them the full measure of your attention to bring them into manifestation sooner. Anything you put your attention to will manifest much quicker. Please tell her this, so she does not have to delay any longer. Delay is unnecessary if she understands creation. Delay is totally unnecessary. Cool. Thank you, Vertical. Oh, you're very welcome, Benjamin. Question from Olena. If possible, my 7-year-old was deathly afraid of crab and spider, like things he saw when he was 4, 5, and 6 years old. What were those things trying to get him? Hang on. Yeah, that is past now. There's no remnant of that now. There's no remnant of that. It would be no benefit to your son for you to give this attention any further. Be delighted in his liberation, not in his previous suffering, unless you wish to resurrect the dead. Did you know that? When you think about that which is before, you resurrect it. But do not give him this. Do not bring that back into his life again. Cool. Well, guys, it's a short one today, but I'm excited. So tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Friday, June the 24th, 2022, there's going to be I'm told it's going to be a semi-meditation discussion with Master Buddha called Being Free. The servants obey you is what I was told to put in brackets. The servants obey you. And that's going to be with Master Buddha this Friday, June the 22nd. So I hope you'll join us for that on Shortcuts for Your Soul. And the meditation will be announced then as well. And for my patrons, the video from last Saturday is up on the Patreon page, so you can go in and enjoy that incredible video with Archangel Raphael. It was quite an amazing evening. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you can also use the super chat feature in the conversation panel to help there. And I want to again say thank you to my patrons and thank you to all of you. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you'll know whenever we come live. And I want to wish you all much, much love. I want to thank Elijah for coming present with us today and the other beings that are with us. And again, I want to wish you all much love. Have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.